We use it currently for the software image management. So we push a lot of our updates to our switching gear, a lot of the access layer at the campuses, and then the campus cores. We plan on using it this summer to perform upgrades to our data center equipment. That's the 9606 cores, and we're going to use it on our edge, internet transportation switches, stuff like that. So all data center gear will be upgraded through Catalyst Center. I want to hammer home the swim process. It is amazing how you can upgrade something. It does all the readiness checks for you, does all the compliance checks for you, and it eliminates a lot of potential human error. Maybe you won't copy a file correctly. Maybe you didn't check your MD5 hash properly. There's a lot of things that, if you're doing 50, 60, 70 upgrades over the course of a week or 2 weeks, you might try to cut corners, or not intentionally, but, just human error. You do something repetitive, maybe you skip a step. With Swim, there is no skipping a step. It checks compliance. It checks your iOS. You download your iOS straight from Cisco, from Catalyst Center. It eliminates any fatigue that you might have whenever it comes to doing repetitive things for weeks on end. The one thing that we had to get used to was really breaking down our wireless. We integrated our 9800 controllers into it, and the breakdown of our tags being floor specific and not just being like campus specific was a challenge for us, and so we had to create all new tags. And it wasn't necessarily a problem. It just required a little bit redesign on our wireless. And so it would have been nice for us to be able to assign a tag to an entire campus versus a floor. But that's a small complaint. I would say probably an 8 or a 9 right now, and that's just based off of the small things that we've done with it. I've been to several sessions this week for Catalyst Center specifically, just to see what it's capable of, and I feel like that number would definitely go up once I fully unlock the potential that DNAC has, or Catalyst Center has. Well suited. I would say just any type of repetitive task that you as a human would have to do, logging into switches and, adding a single line of code to a switch, you're prone to mistakes. And so being able to push configs out through Catalyst Center at mass with, no fatigue, and it's done within a few minutes at times, or maybe an hour, that and just the ability of just mass upgrades with consistency, I think that's been the most valuable for us. It's just easy. They made it so easy to just and fast and efficient to upgrade your entire organization within, days, weeks, months, and you're not spending, your maintenance windows get a lot shorter. You can schedule more maintenance windows just because there's going to be some type of consistency with it, and there's just, no. I'm sure there will be a hiccup one day, but there just hasn't really been too many issues with us using that product, especially for maintenance window upgrades, things like that. I think just it helps us maintain the network. If we need to make small changes or even large changes at scale, it's easily done. And, whether that doesn't necessarily have an impact on the end users, we can do things during the day at scale and have no problems with it. And if we need maintenance windows, like I said earlier, it's really efficient. and it actually lessened our maintenance window time because of how efficient and effective it is. So we use the Catalyst 9300 switches and the 9500 switches at our campus. We use the 9606 as our distribution layer for all of our campuses. We use, I think they're the Nexus 9500s for our cores in our data centers. We use Cisco Spaces. We use the next-gen firewall. I mean, we are a full-on Cisco shop. We use I can't remember the model numbers, but we have ACI enabled in our data centers. I know, it's nice that we are a Cisco shop because it all seems to integrate and play with each other very nice. Cisco Prime. That's kind of what DNAC or Catalyst Center was supposed to, that was its predecessor with Cisco Prime. And it did a lot of good things for us. But, the capabilities that we used it for were just, probably a lot of what we're using it for right now, which is upgrades and configuration pushes to all of our gear. But it doesn't have quite the robust features that I've learned about this week. So, as far, I'm still pretty new in the network world. I've only been doing the job for 7 years, so I've really only known Cisco products, and I haven't reviewed anything outside of Cisco, but just what I've worked on, they've all, done what I've needed them to do, and with Catalyst Center, it'll do even more. Absolutely. And I'm not even entirely sure how much we paid for it. Absolutely. I didn't know too much about the sales and marketing beforehand, but I will say, I mean, it does everything that I would need it to do and more. So I think I could probably go out on a limb and say that it probably does. Without maybe just a little bit of hiccups here and there, just trying to relinquish some of the control that DNAC wants to, have over some of your systems, but you can trust it, which is nice. We haven't had it fail us, or it hasn't, hurt our environment. It's only made it better and more efficient. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's been great. No, we already own it. Cisco Spaces integrated into Catalyst Center is another big one, just for that user telemetry data and the ability to track devices, things like that. I think Spaces has been Catalyst Center mixed with Spaces has been as advertised, and maybe even a little bit more. And we'll as we get more into Catalyst Center, I'm sure it'll provide even more value to us. But I would say those are the two main ones, is Catalyst Center and Spaces. Yeah, absolutely.